Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. I have been a cardiologist in Houston for more than 40 years. So today we are going to explore the vegetable sources of rich protein. One of the biggest complaints I get from my Indian colleagues is that, we don't have very good sources of protein for vegetarians. Well, that is going to be a myth after this presentation. Let us look at a typical Indian dinner or lunch. Carbohydrates, 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 carbohydrates. Over 70 to 80% of the calories are coming from carbohydrates and fats. That's a significant amount, and perhaps it is much more in many cases. The only source of protein we see here is a little tiny amount of tofu that is comprising the entire protein for this rich carbohydrate diet. This is typical not only in India or Asia, it is typical in every part of the world. You take Europe or you take South America, everywhere we have the same problem. So let us dig a little deeper into what is the real problem and how we can look at the rich source of proteins from vegetable origin and how we can simplify and modify our lifestyle that can greatly enhance our physical fitness. For example, rice, which is a staple food in India, China, Japan, all these places. Rice, 1 cup of rice contains 45 grams of carbohydrates, 4 grams of protein. And here's like a typical lunch or a dinner at an Indian dinner table. Wheat. Wheat is very popular again in Asia and also in South America. Tortillas, chapatis, parotas, or pita bread, they are all same. They all come from wheat source. And look at here. You do get 9.61 grams of protein for 1 cup, but look at 74 grams of carbohydrates. That's a lot of carbohydrates. That's what's happening with our diet. But you do get some amount of fiber here. Now let's talk about European diet, which is mainly consisted of potatoes in the form of French fries or chips, or a variety of preparations, including baked potato with cheese, bacon, sour cream, oh, you name it. All of these are not the ingredients you're looking for, which is a rich source of protein, So let's look at some vegetables. They say vegetables are good, but remember, if you are having sugar problem, here's the problem with the vegetables too, and that is they all have carbohydrates. 1 apple has 25 grams of carbohydrates. That's a significant amount you need to keep in mind. Same thing with pasta, brown rice, banana. All of these have carbohydrates. Just keep that in mind because they all add up at the end of the day, like a savings account. It just once on your lip, the rest of the time on your hips. That's what one of the Filipino lady nurses told me that. We talked about the potatoes, so let's move on to the rich source of protein from a vegetable origin. Here is tempeh or tempeh. I never eaten this one, but anyway, 1 cup has 41 grams of protein. I'm talking about protein. Same thing with seitan. I'm not even familiar with these names. Seitan. Soya beans are very popular in Japan, China, and also in India. And 1 cup has 21 grams of protein. Keep that in mind. And lentils are a good source of protein. So anybody who complains that we don't have enough sources of protein, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Black beans, 15 grams. Kidney beans, 13 grams. And vegetable burger, 13 grams of protein. Chickpeas, which is very popular in Indian, and it's one of the main vegetable sources of food, especially at Indian buffets or parties. 12 grams of protein. Black baked beans and tofu, which is very popular in Japan, China, and India. And then we have the peanut butter. But when you're looking at these sources of protein, there are a couple of other things that we need to keep in mind, and let's see what they are. Number 1, take for example chickpeas. They are a good source of protein, but they also have carbohydrates and fats. So the key is to understand that all of these have most of the macronutrients. It's just a question of the percentage. The key again is to keep the volume down. I know you're saying maybe you should keep the volume of your presentation down a little bit. I'm talking about the quantity of food that we consume. Here are nuts. Nuts are a great source of protein. We know that because we are all quite familiar with that. If you look at nuts, typically peanuts, it has 6 grams of protein per ounce, then it has 14 grams of fat. It is most of it is polyunsaturated fatty acids, but keep in mind that the calories add up, and the more fat you eat, the higher is going to be the triglyceride levels in your blood, which will eventually have an effect. So again, the key is moderation. When we are talking about these rich sources of protein, we also need to look into this edamame, which is an excellent source of protein. And as you can see, it has 18 to 20 grams of protein and 8 grams of fat, 13 grams of carbs. So this has the lowest amount of carbohydrates and fats compared to most other nuts and beans. So ladies and gentlemen, my simple recipe is, here's a great source of protein for all those who think there are not good vegetable sources of protein. Number 2, we should replace one of our diet in a day with some salad and then combine that with a great source of rich protein. To that, if you add another 20 minutes of daily exercise, it could be stop and go. You park your car at the end of a shopping center and walk 5 minutes to 10 minutes each side. So by the end of the day, if you can cover 20 to 30 minutes, I missed the minutes here. You will be a totally new person. I mean, I lost 20 pounds by just following simple principle of replacing one diet with a salad and adding little walking. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a quick summary of rich source of protein for vegetarians, and also how we can modify our lifestyle by just making simple changes. I hope this has been educational to you, and if you would like me to do research on any other topic, please let me know. I'll be happy to do the research and prepare a presentation. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next presentation. Thank you so much.